Hello and welcome to this video. I hope you're keeping well, staying safe and staying at home. Today I'm going to talk about how I made a space to practice yoga and to meditate in, even with a very small room. So I got into yoga and meditation about 4 years ago when I started at university, and I took some yoga classes with my friends. I had a really amazing, funny, inspiring teacher who really encouraged me to keep practicing. So as well as these classes, I also started practicing at home, and through uni I only had tiny, very basic uni rooms, but I loved practicing and I wanted to have a really nice atmosphere and ambience to practice in, because I find that my mood and my mindset is very affected by the atmosphere around me. So I moved back into my family home after I graduated in the summer, and I've been here ever since. I actually moved back into a smaller bedroom than the one that I had before I left for uni, and I really love the room, but there is a bit of an issue sometimes with space, especially because I have a lot of craft and sewing things, so having room to practice yoga in as well is a little bit difficult. But I put in a good amount of time and effort to make a space that's really comforting and calming to practice in, and I think that I've made a really nice area, and today I just wanted to show you how I did that, some of the things that I like to have around me if I'm meditating or doing some yoga, which is mainly in this little space behind me here that I put together, but I also have some bits dotted around the rest of my bedroom that I'm going to show you as well. So I try to meditate every day. Obviously the reality is every single day I don't fit it in, mainly out of laziness, but I really do try to, especially at the moment where everyone's trying to get as much of a routine back into their lives as they can. And I usually meditate either sitting right here and looking at these things behind me, or I'll sit on my bed if I want to be a bit more comfortable. And when I'm doing yoga, I also set up the mat here. There's literally just enough space for the length of my mat to fit in this room, but I do find that it's enough space, and if there's not and it's sunny, I'll practice outside instead or in our kitchen. I have this space for several reasons. The first is to feel like I have somewhere to go to when I want to meditate, that's separate from the other things that I might be doing in my room. It's also somewhere that keeps my attention in one space, especially if I'm doing yoga or some sort of meditation that means my eyes are still open. I find the things that I keep here really calming and uplifting to look at, and so they put me in a good mood and a really relaxed mood. And also it's just practically a really good place to collect and store the things that I might want or need to use. So now I'm just going to hop up and give you a quick tour of this little area behind me. So as you can see, this is actually a really tiny area of my already pretty small room. On the left of it I have my wardrobe, and on the right is a cubby which holds my gym clothes and fabric for sewing, and then on top of that I have my makeup and a mirror, so it really is a very small space. So on the floor here I have this really gorgeous woven rug which has travelled with me from my first bedroom to uni and back again, and this was a birthday present from my parents, so I'm not entirely sure where it's from, but I know a lot of places do one similar. And then when I'm meditating I like to sit on this cushion which my sister bought me for my most recent birthday. This cushion's from a brand called Basaho. I have no idea if I said that right, hopefully it was close enough. But I believe it's filled with seeds, so you can adjust how firm or soft it is, so it's really good for sitting on to do meditation. I also use it in various ways when I'm doing yoga as well, especially to take a bit of pressure off my back if I find that it's aching a bit. So moving on to the actual, I guess, surface itself, this is actually a vintage / antique hutch with glass doors that my parents bought for our kitchen, and then it didn't really go with the look they were going for, so they very kindly said I could have it in my room because I probably couldn't afford this by myself, and I really love it. You can see on the front it has a little golden Buddha ornament, and I got this little decoration from when I used to work in a shop called Tiger, and I just think it looks really nice on the front there. In the hutch I store my vintage and sewing books that I have. So I have a lot of books on vintage fashion and collecting it, and then sewing techniques and patterns and things like that, because sewing and learning about vintage clothes are two of my main hobbies, and I think they look really pretty in there to start with. I also needed somewhere to store them, and it's quite nice to direct my attention there as well, because it helps me to feel a bit more creative. And I did just want to say that you really don't need anything nice, particularly to put your supplies on. When I was at uni, I had the most basic, crappy furniture, probably the worst out of all the rooms actually. We really scrimped there, but I still managed to create a similar sort of layout on that. So now I'm just going to talk a little bit about the things that I store on top of this hutch. This tends to change quite a bit. It depends what I'm interested in at the moment, or maybe if I've got anything as a gift or bought myself anything new, but I'm quite happy with how it looks at the moment. So I have this really nice silvery bowl that was a present for Christmas from my parents, and I use that to put any jewellery in that is either, I don't know, related to spirituality or reminds me of it personally. So there's a really nice red bracelet that my mum got me that's called a Hatha bracelet, and then I have some gemstone bracelets as well. It just is a nice place to store them where I can see them. And then during this lockdown I've been really getting into felting, and I made these little pebbles which are in the different colours of the chakras, or chakras. I feel like I always manage to say that the wrong way. I'm just learning about them at the moment, and so I made these little pebbles to sort of represent each of those, and let me tell you, as a stress busting and boredom busting activity, felting is the way to go. Next, you can see that I have various plants. I don't have any living plants that aren't succulents on here because I'm not particularly good at looking after plants. My sister has about 100 in her room and she's a lot better than me, which is why I stuck with cacti and succulents. The little ones are from IKEA, and then the bigger one I think was from somewhere like Morrison's. The big one that you can see right at the front is actually fake. That was also from Tiger, and I put it in this little pink watering can, which was also from Tiger. You can see that I made the most of my employee discount while I worked there. And I just find the plants really nice to look at, really relaxing, and because you need to water them occasionally and tend to them, it kind of puts my focus back on keeping this area nice. I also have quite a few candles here. I'll tend to put more candles on or light more candles around my room when I am meditating, or just want the room to look really cozy in the evening. But I haven't got too many on here just right now. The pink ones were from Yankee Candle, and they were a present from a really good friend at Christmas, and they smell amazing. And I always put one in this Buddha tea light holder, which, as you can probably guess, was also from Tiger, and I just really like how he looks all sleepy. And there's a little pink Buddha next to him, which was also from Tiger, but this one was a present from my sister. And I really like these little cacti candles. I actually like them too much to ever like them. Again, they were also from Tiger. So this silver jar actually lights up. It's battery operated and it looks really pretty. It's like you've caught some kind of magic inside it. And that was a present from my aunt for, I believe, Christmas. So I only have had those recently, but they really help to light up the room, which is great because candles alone sometimes means you're doing yoga in almost complete darkness, and that can be a little bit tricky. Next up, I have my incense holder. I got that while I was still at university from one of those little independent kind of yoga-y, spiritually shops that you just find in really random places, but I really like this one. I love the pattern on it. And the incense sticks my mum got me because she went to a shop, I think that's in Liverpool, which apparently has really amazing supplies for yoga and meditation, and they're from a brand called Chakra 30, and they are sacral chakra ones, and they smell amazing. Next up, I have this little essential oil roll-on that I got from Oliver Bonas in their sale. I just came across it in one of the shops, I think in Waterloo Station, and it smells really nice. I like to put a bit on sometimes before I'm sleeping or before I'm meditating, just because the scent of it makes me feel nice and calm. And if you're wondering what's in these little drawers, it's just where I keep either matches or spare tea lights, because obviously tea lights are small, you get through quite a lot of them, so that's just a really good place to store them. And hanging on the knob of one of these little drawers is a mala bracelet. I like to keep it there to remind me to use it. My sister bought me it for Christmas, and I find it's really nice to kind of direct your attention while you're meditating, especially if you're quite fidgety and you don't like to just sit still. If you look up online how to use it, there's some really good articles or videos about it. It is actually really simple, but I had no idea how to do it until I had a look. One other thing that I just wanted to mention was my Himalayan salt lamp, which is actually not on this surface, but I keep it by my bed. And I just put that on each night just to kind of get me into a more calm, sleepy mood, because it's a really soft, warm glow. So I really hope you enjoyed that little tour and that it showed that you don't need a big room or a studio or anything fancy at all to practice some yoga or some meditation in. I'm in no way a professional, I'm not a teacher or anything like that. It's just something that is a passion and a hobby of mine, and this is how I've made it work for me. The most important thing is just to work out what makes you feel calm and feel focused on what you're doing, and just puts you in a good mood, because ultimately this is something for your peace of mind and for your enjoyment. So thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!